Hello everyone, and now welcome to game number 3 on Ancient Isle in this best of 3 series between WarChiefRich and Sonik. We have Sonik spawning as the yellow Night Elf player on the bottom right hand side of the map. Meanwhile, on the top left we have WarChiefRich spawning as the red Night Elf. Night Elf versus Night Elf matchup as it has gone down to the wire here. WarChiefRich showing he can keep pace with Sonik, getting some very early kills against a Demon Hunter. And once an experience level or an experience and hero level started to show up in the game, WarChiefRich was just able to capitalize on that. And with the Demon Hunter getting metamorphosis, fighting in tight corridors is just not the same when you have a Demon Hunter able to use a very effective ranged high damage chaos attack against the front lines there. WarChiefRich pretty much knew he had it in the bag, purposely bought the mana potion as well just so he could mana burn and still have enough mana, as we're now moving into the final game of this 3-game set. Now, as the Ancient of Wars are coming into play, and you also see the Demon Hunter being trained, what exactly will both of these players be looking for, and what exactly are these players going to be trying to use in terms of strategy? It seems like both players really like trying to creep and trying to get a hero advantage that way. I can't give a bit of an advantage to either player in terms of their creeping, as both of them seem very close to each other. Perhaps the drops may be the very big determining difference between one player and another. Quickly, we see WarChiefRich hiding a wisp off on the side of the map right here. He has very limited vision. As we take a look, if you take a look at Hunter Shape, he has very little vision of anything, but it is a straight shot vision right here. And what that does is it will see if any units are just simply trying to run by. Let's go ahead and take a look at that again. Can he see it? Oh, I don't know. I don't think he actually saw anything there, as we now go back to the full vision here. Meanwhile, the Demon Hunter is already out. You can see that the Demon Hunter is going to be creeping out that creep camp, picks up a Ring of Protection +2, not necessarily that great. Meanwhile, we see that Sonik picking up a Gloves of Haste, which is in fact a very useful item. That Gloves of Haste, once you add in an Orb of Venom, it allows that Demon Hunter to attack significantly faster and kind of spread out that poison damage if you in fact want to try and do that. Alright, Demon Hunter now attempting to go after the Null Brute, but the Demon Hunter is still back over here. What's going to be happening? They're trying to exchange some blows. Are we going to perhaps see a bit of a mana burn war? No, just one straight up mana burn coming in from WarChiefRich. Demon Hunter already sitting at level 2. Don't think he's any which way faster, as it looked like, oh my goodness, it looked like Sonik ended up accidentally killing a creep with an Ancient of War. That's the reason why he's so far behind in terms of experience right now, and that is a very big deal. Anytime you are able to maintain a hero level over your opponent this early in the game, it does tend to add up extremely quickly. You can see the little bit of extra damage if they started to fight. Boots of Speed though, one neutralizing factor. If you're behind, you're able to just retreat and get back home significantly faster. We see WarChiefRich about 40% teching to tier 2. Meanwhile, we see Sonik doing the same exact thing. And it looks like we're going to be going into that Demon Hunter Keeper of the Grove build with a whole bunch of bears. This time around, it looks like, are we skipping Huntresses? No, we are not, at least not from WarChiefRich. Meanwhile, I don't know if we're seeing Huntresses, but yes, we are seeing Huntresses trained by Sonik as well. Manual of Health not being picked up. Never quite sure why you wouldn't want to pick those up, as the Huntress now makes its way off to the north. Alright, Shadow Melded Archers sitting in the shadows, waiting to see what's going to be happening next. Meanwhile, the Demon Hunter wandering around here, looking to find perhaps his opponent creeping and being able to just do a little bit of a creep jack here. Are we going to see another mana burn? Yes, we do, as we are now just absorbing damage onto that Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter finally gets to level 2, even though he is in an unfavorable spot 2-on-1. He wanted to at least punish his opponent there. Mana burn, are we going to come in? Yes, we are. A little bit of an unfortunate mana burn there. 27 damage, lost 27 mana at the cost of 75 mana. I would not call that a victory at all, as we now see, oh, what is going on here? More and more Huntresses being added, but the lines are breaking. WarChiefRich not doing a good job keeping track of all of his units and keeping them together. Meanwhile, the Demon Hunter rounding the corner and now going to be just chasing the targets again. That little bit of damage is being added up over time, and yes, we also know that Sonik has boots of speed on his Demon Hunter, making him just that much faster. All right, this Demon Hunter winning or losing the foot race, as we're going to get a little bit of damage once more. Are we going to perhaps see the units capture or swing back around the other side? The Huntresses now actually in a little bit of a favorable spot, as we see an Ancient of Lore trying to be built. Oh, WarChiefRich showing you why you do not leave tomes behind, picking up an extra tome, and now has 100 hit point advantage over his opponent. We'll see if that 100 hit points makes a very big difference at all, as WarChiefRich now running inside a base. This is not a good spot to be in, especially with the Keeper of the Grove now out on the field. Scroll of Town Portal, as are we going to see, oh my goodness, that Scroll of Town Portal teleporting near certain death Huntress, and WarChiefRich doing a great job there, saving all of his units. I was concerned about how he was going to be able to do anything at all, and instead he was able to actually get all of his units back out. Force a cancellation on an Ancient of Lore, and that means he will in fact have more bears faster. Or you can see Dryads being trained right now, Tree of Eternity being added, the second Ancient of Lore about halfway done. Meanwhile, the first Ancient of Lore has not even been completed yet by Sonik. Sonic's gonna have a bit of a hard time, as we are now looking into the center map here. All right, Huntresses trying to engage. Keeper of the Grove getting an entangle back here. This one poor Huntress gonna get taken down. And I believe that was a bit of a misstep by WarChiefRich. WarChiefRich tried to entangle the Keeper of the Grove instead of entangling the Huntress. The entangling of the Keeper of the Grove does not last nearly as long on a hero unit, and because of that, he ended up losing one more unit there. All right, unit's going to be backing off. There goes a Huntress there, as the Demon Hunter going to have a little bit of a problem. The Dryad turns around, does slow poison onto the Demon Hunter, may have to turn around and do it again, as the Dryad is just kind of prancing in front of that Demon Hunter. That Demon Hunter really needs to absorb or get some Moonwell, or at least a rejuvenation quickly, as the Demon Hunter is going to sit back and try to get back up to full health, as we are researching Abolish Magic. Now, I do think the Abolish Magic is a bit premature, but then again, those entangles are just that big of a problem that you really do not want to give your opponent that advantage at all. All right, Demon Hunter now looking to come in. Are we going to perhaps see a mana burn? Yes, we are. 50 hit point mana burn. Both Demon Hunters are just still sitting at level 2, even though we are now 8 minutes into the game. Whoever gets to level 3 first may become the victor, as this Druid of the Claw perhaps should really be getting rejuvenation onto the Demon Hunter. But then again, you are concerned that your opponent or the creeps may just start purging all of that off, and that is the last thing you want. You do not want the computer to be working against you. All right, Null Warden going to get taken down. There is the rejuvenation, and there you go, mana burn coming in. And what is happening? Oh, that poor Demon Hunter. Sonik actually in a little bit of trouble. There is a Scroll of Town Portal used just in time, as it was perhaps near certain death, and a beautiful Abolish Magic right there, as this Huntress is going to continue to take a little bit of poison damage. And now we see a level 2 Demon Hunter and almost level 2 Keeper of the Grove. So, as things are currently unfolding, that Keeper of the Grove picking up picking up a Clarity Potion, quickly using it, as the Demon Hunter and Huntresses and Ancient of War really need to try and creep out another creep camp. Meanwhile, you can see the Demon Hunter of Sonik is thinking the same exact thing. The Keeper of the Grove is a bit higher in level, and is the Demon Hunter perhaps going to spot his opponent? No, he is going to instead just try and creep a creep camp himself, and we are going to see whoever creeps out or gets the higher level first should end up being the victor. 2-2 after this, compared to, wait, no, it's going to be 2-2 against 2-2. I think both sides are going to be level 2. Yes, the Keeper of the Grove is level 2, so we are still pretty much neck and neck as we are looking at the Troll Berserker getting taken down. Toma Strength +2, WarChiefRich's Demon Hunter sitting at level 3, 20 additional damage on top. Meanwhile, the Demon Hunter of his opponent only sitting at 675 life, and 675 compared to 875, and it isn't even the items, it's just the tomes that is making a big difference. 675 with a Circlet of Nobility, that goes to show you how big of a difference we are at now, as WarChiefRich is really starting to run away, or getting a little bit of a lead here. He's going to try and turn this small lead into a bigger lead and a bigger lead. Unfortunately, the Observer has left the game. Somehow, I guess one of these replays was actually from the individual players themselves. As we're looking at the Demon Hunter, well, the Demon Hunter and the Bears and the Keeper of the Grove. All right, what's going to be happening here? Druids of the Claw. Druid of the Claw, and perhaps going to get some rejuvenation going. Keeper of the Grove still sitting at level 2. Dryads are all in position, and if we see a potential creepjack or pressure at the right time, I think Sonik is not going to be able to really defend this. All right, here we go. WarChiefRich looking to put pressure in, quickly sees the army retreat all the way back, and now we are at the start of nightfall, and this is actually the perfect opportunity to strike. The Moonwells are very much empty on both sides, so it's not going to be that big of an advantage. Quick detonation there. Demon Hunter also has a Scroll of Healing on himself, so that means he's actually going to win out in that war. He has more healing than his opponent does, but I don't think he realizes this yet. Right now, they're just doing this weird yin-yang dance back and forth when they really need to be engaging. And once they can engage in a proper battle, I think WarChiefRich's just superior Demon Hunter is going to show himself. Right now, Sonik now making his way back up to the north, deciding to back off again. And I think if WarChiefRich loses this game, it is going to be because he is not using this time very wisely. Meanwhile, we can see that there is an Ancient of War down over here making its way. Are we going to see that Ancient of War perhaps try and do a little bit of creeping? You can see Wisp is... the Wisp is... No, that is not a Wisp. That is just a flat-out Sentry Ward. And this little bit of extra information, that little bit of scout, may be the difference. All right, so far, Keeper of the Grove, Druids of the Claw, Demon Hunter need to engage, and they need to engage well. There is not that many Dryads coming in from WarChiefRich's side. Meanwhile, we only have one Dryad and one Archer. They are trying to get in position. Whoever has the better position will end up winning, but who is going to win out? 100 hit point mana burn versus a 50 hit point mana burn. That is a big difference, especially on that Keeper of the Grove, who you really want to save all of that mana if possible. Are we going to see an engagement? There you go. There is an entangle onto a bear, quickly abolished away. Rejuvenation onto the Demon Hunter, quickly abolished away. And here is the fight. It looks as though the Demon Hunter does have a little bit more damage here, and the mana burn onto the bear may allow him to escape. Oh yes, he is going to be able to escape right there. Meanwhile, another bear getting mana burned instead. That bear is going to get torn to shreds. There it goes. And with one bear down, the Keeper of the Grove still with plenty of mana. We can see that Sonik had to go back. Sonik, low on mana on that Keeper of the Grove, does have one Dryad. The Dryad, however, is low on mana, so she will not be abolishing or removing that entangle. Demon Hunter is right here. Is he going to take the opportunity to strike and attempt to clear out this creep camp? It looks like he wants to try it, and yes, no, he's not going to do it. He's going to back off as the Huntress quickly just rushes into the forward line. Both sides get in a bear entangled in a matter of seconds, but WarChiefRich does have a little bit more mana behind him, able to continue this push. You can see mana burn coming down. There goes a red bear. Meanwhile, there goes a detonation. Huntress somehow still alive, and as a Scroll of Healing does go down, healing up the majority of the red army. So far, it looks like WarChiefRich is going to continue to push this through here, and Sonik perhaps really just gonna lose this fight because of a weaker Demon Hunter due to not reading tomes, and that would in fact be a very big deal. Keeper of the Grove sitting at level 3. This Demon Hunter now trying to get away. Entangle now onto that Demon Hunter as the Dryads are still trying to give chase. Rejuvenation onto the Demon Hunter as well, as we are still turning around in circles. Red bears are all over the place. Yellow bear right there. Is he going to be able to back off in time? There's a Staff of Preservation saving those units, as there are a significant number of bears trying to perhaps split this army up. Sonik is in a bad position. Keeper of the Grove gets into position here. Are we going to see a mana burn? Yes, we are. There is that mana burn, important mana burn, as the Keeper of the Grove now taking a bit of damage as well. All right, Potion of Invulnerability purchased by the Demon Hunter. That does not last very, very long. Keeper of the Grove now trying to back off, as the Keeper of the Grove of Sonik has gone down. It looks like the bear or the Demon Hunter may go down as well. Are we going to perhaps see a mana burn? No, just a straight up hit. And there is the GG. WarChiefRich coming back, being down 0-1 to take the series 2-1. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.